Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Cool Dude here, and welcome to another episode of Logo Evolution. And today, I'm going to be doing a logo evolution on the company I want to go over, Cartoon Network Studios. Cartoon Network Studios is the in-house American animation production of the network Cartoon Network, originally formed in 1994 as a division of Hanna-Barbera Productions, and it has since served as the network's main production studio, not to mention producing shows for sister networks such as Adult Swim, Cartoonito, and the Max streaming service. Most of their shows are currently distributed for network by Cartoon Network Productions, which is distributed by Warner Brothers Television Distribution. The first program was What a Cartoon Show, which aired in 1995, which spun off Dexter's Laboratory, with its first season becoming a success. Although after Hanna-Barbera's parent company, Turner Entertainment, merged with Time Warner, the studio's name would be phased out. Actually, from 1997 to 2000, they would use the Hanna-Barbera name. And some other times, no logo is shot. I've watched one on a show and no logo. But after Hanna-Barbera was folded under Warner Bros. Animation, the Cartoon Network Studios name returned and began to produce popular shows in the new building in Burbank, California, such as Samurai Jack, Billy and Mandy, Time Squad, Ben 10, and newer seasons of former Hanna-Barbera shows. Their only theatrical film was The Powerpuff Girl, not to mention released by Warner Brothers themselves, which was a box office flop. Later in the decade, they would go into live-action shows and pilots, like the infamous Out of Jimmy's Head. Not to mention, they also went into CN Real, such as Destroy, Build, Destroy, Dude, What Would Happen, which is a ripoff of their future network, Discovery. Well, Mythbusters, but it is from their future network. Brain Rush, that one ghost show. Yeah, some of these were forgotten. And then, not to mention, Tower Prep, Unnatural History, which was forgotten, even though they're good, but they're still forgotten for a reason. Level Up, which was the only good show from Cartoon Network, despite being, forgotten. Their last live-action show would be Incredible Crew. Although they still do live-action stuff, it would end up being under their Adult Swim division, which was for the best anyway. In 2010, they would release Adventure Time, which was turned on by their rival Nickelodeon network, since they turned that down in favor of Fanboy and Chum Chum. But I'm going to go brief. Adventure Time is good, since it's aired on Cartoon Network, and then there's regular show in others. By the end of the decade, they outgrow their California bank building, closed in 2023 because of Warner Bros. Discovery. They're now in the Warner Bros. Studios lot because of, David Zaslav. They're a subsidiary of Warner Bros. Discovery since, the 1990s. Formerly known as Time Warner, then Time Warner, then Time Warner again, and then Warner Media. They're best known for, the aforementioned shows like Regular Show, Adventure Time, Billy and Mandy, and other cartoons. But I did not want this long, so let's go on to some logos, starting with the first one, and that is... Oh yeah, did you know that 93.4% of you aren't subscribed, so for those, please like and subscribe, so that way I can keep making videos. The checkerboard, it was in use from 1996 to 1997. There's one from Dexter's Laboratory. Now, this is, even though it's still, it's not really a bad logo, considering there's the famous checkerboard. This would be the only 90s logo, aside from Cartoon Network Productions, from Cartoon Network Studios, as it would use the Hanna-Barbera name until, well, 2001. And speaking of which, here it is. Well, before I get there, there is one from 2000 in between, and the logo is called the CN Factory Building. And it was in use from 2000 to 2001, and it was used again in 2006. There's the one without the checkerboard, and the entire logo would be horizontal. Well, the text would be horizontal. This, even though it's a still, it's actually a really good logo. And not to mention, of course, there's that building over there, which is, of course, the one, I think it's the one in Burbank. I'm not sure. R.I.P. Burbank building. We now go in to the actual first logo from Cartoon Network Studios. And it's the one and only the checkerboard. And it was in use from 2001 to 2012. There is the one with the laser. It would drive a Cartoon Network and then Studios. There is the one that is most remembered and the one that's mostly used. It is the one where Cartoon Network and then Studios would open up, revealing the variation from the shows that is shown on. This one that I'm only going to be using is the one with Samurai Jack from Samurai Jack. This, even though it's still, it's a good logo, and there's even animation to make up for it. Though the custom variants, even though they're just a custom variant, is actually the most remembered, and is actually one of the best and remembered for fans of, the Cartoon Network shows. Especially ones that I'm gonna say, the ones that opens up and down. It was so good, it would come back, but with the Check It one for their, 2013 Check It logo. So, yeah. Although some of the shows probably didn't use this, which is the live action ones. And yeah. But we now go into the next logo from, the Check It era, and that is, the logo is called Check It, and it was in use from 2010 to 2015. There's a variant with 4 squares. The fourth square would show the clip from a show that, of course, is aired. Yeah. This one I'm going to be using is the one from Regular Show, which was one of the popular cartoons at the time. There's that same 4 square variant, but this time with a synthesized theme. This one would be used on the Powerpuff Girls special. There is a variant with that same synthesized theme that does not have the 4th square. This would actually be used in, their live action shows until Incredible Crew, which they stopped doing it. This is a good logo, but I kind of find it weird. One, it's one of those stupid oversimplified logos. I think this logo popularized it, where they would just oversimplify. It doesn't even have the checkerboard. At least it does have the 4-note Check It theme, but still, me personally, it's weird. At least it's on some good shows, and the 4th square has some clips, but yeah. Not to mention, speaking of usage, the 3 square one, I think kind of sucks because of its usage in those stupid live action shows. Literally, the only good one, in my opinion, is Level Up. But even that show is still weird. In fact, you can't even find these on Max. Probably to erase people's memories of those shows even existing. But yeah, we now go on to the next look, which finally went back to, of course, the open up and down variant. But yeah, y'all remember the custom checkerboard variant, the one that opens up and down? Well, I'm guessing it was so liked, they decided to use that for their logo. The logo is called Checkerboard 2, and it was in use from 2013 to 2025. Usually, oversimplified logos kind of suck, or simplified logos, but this logo isn't actually that bad. It literally has that open up variant from the 2001 logo. But yeah, unfortunately, this logo had to end in 2025, which around 2021, there is of course what I think the most infamous logo of all time. And that is, the logo is called Checkerboard 3, and it was in use since 2021. But yeah, the logo is good, but do they have to oversimplify it or make it look like something to keep up with the times? I mean, they don't have to keep up with the times. Like, they could just continue using the current logo, well, the previous logo, excuse me, or better yet, at least update the logo. But yeah, well, that's actually about it for this video. And remember, like, subscribe, and especially for that 93.4% of you, and hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified for my latest videos. And please don't be afraid to request some logos. If I see it, I'll take it. Especially the best one. And see ya, and bye.